I'd like to call the meeting to order for October 7th, planning board. And I'd like to have everyone understand that we have a fire exit outside the door here to the left or to the right, just follow the signs. And we have a defibrillator on site if anybody should feel the need. And I also ask that everybody please turn off their phones and pagers so we can hear each other. And I'd like to have the secretary call the roll, please.
Steve Block,
Here.
Dave Martin,
Here.
Ed Nelson,
Here.
James Nesbitt,
Here.
Steve Bittner,
Here.
Sharon Steigerwald, with Chris Schleider excused.
Okay, we need approval of the September 3rd planning board meeting minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second. Motion. Steve, and Steve and Ed?
Yeah.
On the second?
Okay, Sharon Steigerwald,
Yes.
Steve Block,
Yeah.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
James Nesbitt,
Yes.
Ed Nelson,
Yes.
Steve Bittner.
We have a public hearing here tonight. Would the clerk like to read the proof of publication?
It's a public hearing continuation, so it was read last month.
Oh, okay, all right. So we're all set on that. Okay, public hearing here for the Morgan and Andrew Honan, 180 Ketchum Road. It's open now to the public. Go ahead.
Do you want public comment first, or?
No, go ahead and,
Okay, all right. Good evening, everyone. Matt Tuttle, Schultz Associates Engineers and Land Surveyors. So this is a single lot site plan for one single family home and associated improvements at 180 Ketchum Road. It's approximately a 9-acre lot, public water, private septic, good perks, decent soil. We're in last month for a public hearing, and I understand that there were neighbor concerns regarding the location of the house. The location of the house as it sits on the plans does meet code, and the owners have agreed to plant rows of arborvitae as a visual buffer. Other than that, we've satisfied the town engineering comments. We have comments from Monroe County DRC.
Going to open it up then to the public. If anyone has anything to say, please state your name and address to the clerk.
Marissa Cowan, 200 Ketchum Road. I have Cheryl hand out just some of my thoughts from the last planning board meeting. I won't go through it in depth, but just to give you a visual of what we were talking about last time. So some concerns that we have, privacy. My lot is the one directly next to 180. And it would be directly in line with the backyard, complete visual of the backyard as well as the back of the house where like my living room is, master bedroom. I also will walk out these like a gym in. It's just the privacy concern overall. The rebuttal I have to the arborvitae is arborvitaes take 15, 20 years to grow. It just doesn't seem like a reasonable accommodation for the privacy issue. Second would be the recreational and hunting use of the land that I own. So we hunt every year, go reserve, feed the family. With where the house is set back, we would not be able to shoot gun in the predetermined path that we've already set up over the last few years. So just some concerns there. We wouldn't be able to use it for bow or gun season. Lastly, all the other houses are in line. That is what one of the concerns was last time. They've been around for 30 years. My house is 35 years old. Neighboring houses are around 30 years old. So just following the aesthetics of the property, I think is also.
We've never been to a board meeting, so we have to see this or, yeah. Do we stand?
Either way.
Okay. Andy and Morgan Honan, the hopeful owners of a beautiful home on 180 Ketchum, and I heard someone say ketchup, and that's how my phone autocorrects it, so I say ketchup all the time. So we do take privacy very seriously. We currently live in a housing tract where we look directly into the neighbor's house as we're washing dishes, and we don't care to relive that experience. We very much honor privacy, The way in which our home would be set up would be, it's a barn dominium concept. So at the end would actually be, that, now, take that lightly, we are not working with the builder at this time, but we want to get everything approved first. So once we do understand from the town what we can and can't do, the barn would be directly located next to the property in which she's referencing. So it would be on the west side. So a barn and or garage. There would be no windows looking into a bedroom or a gym or a living room. There would be no windows on that side of the home. So home design includes the barn connecting to the end of the house. We'll also be planting trees along our many trees along our property line. Well, not specifically property line, but in accordance so that we would not be viewing anybody's living rooms. And then regarding the position of the house, as mentioned, we currently live in a tract, so buying almost 9 acres, we're really looking forward to getting privacy and being away from suburban life. So we want to go more rural. So in doing that, we really don't want to move our house any further to the road. 60 Ketchum Road actually sits further back as well. So we want to be aesthetically pleasing. We maintain our house right now. Since we've purchased Ketchum Road, we've actually mowed it 8 to 10 times. So, I mean, we are looking to really maintain our property. So, our goal is really to create a well-maintained area. So we believe our plans are respectful of our neighbors. We've actually talked to the east side neighbors and they have no problem with our builds. We want to ensure that we continue to keep everyone happy, but enjoying our properties in peace as well.
Anybody else in the public?
Just a finishing comment. So it would be directly out the back of my house. There would be no privacy. It would be right there. So a little bit of a misspeak on that one. And then I can't hunt on my own property, which I've been doing for many years. As well as I'm getting married. We'll probably have to do legal eventually. So I lived on the house or on the street for 28 years, 30 years, and just really a lot of concerns over privacy and use of the land that I own.
So we'll go ahead and say we are also hunters. So we will be able to hopefully work some sort of.
You gotta be able to feet from the property.
Well, we are. So from where the end of the property will be far enough away from there. And you've got the whole back end as well as we do. So it's room to hunt back there.
But for gun, it's 500 feet, and where we currently have an established blind, currently have been taking care of that property, it would be 418 feet, so we wouldn't be able to shoot gun. And I can't work with a handshake agreement because what if all of a sudden DEC gets called? I can't handle that either.
Right, and we understand you also had a handshake agreement with the previous owner, so we did not know that.
She didn't hunt on that property.
But
We
we did not know that.
Yeah.
So I feel like you may or may not feel some sort of way about us because of what you're doing with us.
You should have heard your surveyor.
It's a privacy concern. It's a little bit strange looking at the houses that have been there 10 years, and building it behind everything else, literally in people's backyards. So that's just where a place I'm coming from. I want to be able to use my land recreationally. I work very hard for where I'm at, and would like to be able to continue to have my privacy and recreationally use my property.
Well, I think that we're trying to work with you, and they want to put up a barrier there, or put up a line of trees, so that you wouldn't be feeling like you're being infringed upon, or, but if you can work with your neighbors, I think that'd be in your best interest. And in hunting that close to another house, I don't know how you would be able to, why you would even want to hunt that close.
So the rest of my property is all wooded.
Well, I see she's got some wooded area there too behind her house, so you only got a narrow bank. How wide is your lot?
Almost 200 feet wide.
Yeah, but it's kind of a narrow alley there to shoot from.
Right, so we shoot back, so it's in the safety of the neighbors as well as, you know,
Yeah.
the house that I'm on, we always shoot.
Well, you wouldn't want to be shooting toward her house anyway.
Well, no, right, but in Monroe County, you can't shoot a firearm within 500 feet of an occupied structure.
Well, then, how would you be able to hunt if you're within your boundaries within 500 feet?
Right, if the house is placed where it is currently on the build plans, we wouldn't be able to hunt in that pre-established area that we've been clearing and have a blind out there.
Well, they do meet the minimum setbacks, and I guess it's just their prerogative of whether or not they want to build up front or if they want to build it to the back. I mean, they meet the code.
Right, I understand, but it just seems a little bit unfair, just taking into account everyone that's been there for so many years. And I think the two houses, on the other side as well, stuck to the uniformity of everything. And that other house down at the end of the road, there's no buildable lot next to it. So that's a standalone house that looks pretty bad.
There are two houses to the east of us who we have talked to, and they have zero problem with where we put our property. And the standalone house she's referencing, there is a barn further towards the road, which I understand you have to build within 1 year after erecting the pole barn. So I'm not sure if that person's gonna build, but I'm assuming the property would go there. There's also a lot on the other side that sold recently, so I'm not sure where they might be putting the structure, but I don't, again, we're really looking to be in the country and have a home where we'd like to put it and not be in line with, I mean, we're not in a housing tract.
What if I went 600 feet back from the road?
As long as you're within the code.
How far back is the house from the road right now?
About 280, just shy of 300.
The lots are 1,300 deep, aren't they?
Yeah, 14 and some change.
Yeah, I got 1298.
Yeah,
So if you're only back 300 feet?
just shy of 300, I believe, yes.
Yes, there's still 1,000 feet to the back.
Well, that's what I'm asking. What if we change our plans, we want to go 600 feet back?
Then you'd be closer hunting. I mean,
Which
you
would,
can bow hunt, you can crossbow hunt there,
I can't crossbow hunt, that's 250 feet.
and they're way over 200 feet, unless your blind is way up close to your house.
No, so on,
I mean, the lots are 1,300 back, you still have another, if you're 300 back, you still have another 1,000 feet behind that house to the back line.
right, but we couldn't even like crossbow practice in the backyard because only about 2 acres is unwooded, 3 acres is wooded.
I practice in my yard with my bow, and nobody says nothing.
But
You know
it
what I
would
mean?
be right now. I don't want the DEC called on me. I remain in compliance
I know,
with the
they're
Monroe
hunters,
County.
they're hunters too, you know what I mean? The unfortunate thing here is they are within their legal rights.
Mhm.
There is nothing the board legally can do. I mean, we understand your plight. I don't know if you remember last meeting, you know, I was one negative vote on the thing because I do understand sightline because I've been a contractor my whole life and I literally had to cut 6 feet off of a building because of sightline before. And it is important to people, but I mean, they're only back 300 feet. That's,
But it's still about 150 feet back from the back of my house.
I know, but it's within their right. I mean, they legally bought a piece of property and they're within the law.
You also
But
could
then
have bought
why-
that property and you wouldn't be here tonight.
Say that again?
I said you also could have bought that
Well,
property.
she told him, but
So-
he never let her know it was for sale.
So and it's not, it's really a privacy, a land use issue. And I don't feel like I'm asking for much. I'm just looking for it to be moved up.
They're offering to move it back.
Keith, is
They
there
were at,
anything you
I'm
can add
like,
to
now
this?
I'm at 206, a week from now, if they build where they're building, off my deck, I've been there 30 years. I'm looking at somebody's house. I mean, it takes away from country living.
Yeah, we discussed that last time.
Mr. Chairman, there are required setbacks, front, side, they have to comply with those. Because it's such a deep lot, the buildable area left after all of those setbacks is still fairly substantial. The board, as a planning board, has some rights in terms of site in the house that are not limited to zoning setbacks. There are other issues for a good site of a house. Just as there are good locations for siting a septic system. But putting those aside, I think they could probably, unless there's something else here I haven't seen, I think they could put the house down. That's the short answer.
Because they met the code.
Well, it's not just zoning, but it's a question of planning as well. If there's an engineering issue, you know, then perhaps we could have that conversation, but I haven't heard one pointed out.
Okay. We'll take everything into consideration then, yeah. And, you know, you're gonna be neighbors, hopefully you can be good neighbors. That's what we want here in town.
Just
That's
hoping
why
I
we're
can,
here.
just hoping I can use my land how I want that.
Well, within reason, sure, yeah. We'll all get along, that's for darn sure, yeah.
I also had a house put on the backside of my property that I can no longer shoot a gun at. It's fact of life.
But I think with modifications to for what I'm proposing, the move up of it, that wouldn't be an issue, right?
I say we go together and make a shooting lane together and shoot together.
We're not, you know, I guess we're not asking much, just maybe move it up a little.
Yeah,
You know, I've been there 30 years, like I said, he's been there 30 years.
it's right in my backyard.
But it's not a little, I mean,
I do have a question. This is for the project engineer. As to the arborvitae, you don't call out the height of the proposed arborvitae, nor do you specify how many are going to be installed or something. Can you clarify that, please?
I'm gonna direct that to the owners,
Well,
as I
what,
am not a landscape architect.
I wanted to ask, because we're gonna do like a berm, like you see in some of the neighborhoods, and put them up on that. Obviously, they're gonna take a couple years to grow, but I don't know how high of a berm I can have my father-in-law make up. My father-in-law's an excavator, Hilton's excavators, and everything. I just don't know what the town code is on having, you know, 4-foot berm, getting some 7, 8-foot trees, staggering them all along the property line.
In terms of berming, that should be on the plan. It's not on the plan. So we're not just gonna wing that.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm asking, I don't know,
That's a discussion between you and your engineer as to what.
It'd be a lot simpler if you just put the trees there, and let nature take its course, and over a period of time, they will get taller as time goes on, so. Yeah, I wouldn't want to say to see it put a bird, yeah.
I mean, I think the issue here is trees or not, and I am also on her and understand. You know, trees or not, berm or not, this meets code, this meets setbacks.
Well, you haven't answered the question. And if we want to go beyond setbacks, we can also talk about that the planning board has the authority to require landscaping. And we can be very specific. So that's not a zoning issue. So I think my question is reasonable. How many trees, what kind of are they? What's the separation? How tall will they be at the time of planting? Otherwise, this is just
Well, if we're
nonsense.
if we're gonna make them put trees on plants, I drove by there again today. There's a hedgerow there now. I don't know whose property the hedgerow was on, but it's not just clear sight, because there is a hedgerow there, so somebody would have to say, are you making them put trees in when they're not gonna do anything anyway, because there's an existing hedgerow?
I wouldn't know about that because I don't see your hedgerow called out on their plans. And those arborvitae, they put them there. I didn't put them there. So again, I think it's a reasonable question. What are we planting, or is this just for show? If everyone is acting in good faith as good neighbors, we should put our cards on the table and specify what it is we intend to do. And besides, it's part of the permit, and the plan is the permit. So we need to see what's there. Our code enforcement officer needs to know what's expected, because that's the plans we're going to sign eventually.
So the hedgerow is the neighbors.
So the hedgerow is mine, it is bare 9 months out of the year. Right, it's only full in the summer, you can see right through it, that is the concern with it being so far back, the house. Yeah, it's not a complete hedgerow, there's 150, 200 feet of exposed area from my backyard.
Okay, before I close the public hearing here, Janine, do you have anything for the conservation on this issue?
I don't have anything to do.
Okay. Keith, I guess we heard, unless you want to add something else.
Well, I'd like some landscaping information added to the plan, and I want that to be approved by the board.
Okay.
The other issue is the easement. There's reference to a proposed 50-foot wide drainage easement to the town, which I assume doesn't exist. The neighbor seems to have deeded an easement over the water course, but it's not on this parcel, is that correct?
That's correct, so there will be a file we can include with it.
Okay. Well, we can do that later, as is the custom.
Okay. Cheryl, do you have anything?
I will say this, probably doesn't pertain, I live on, the property with a hedgerow too, very tall hedgerow in my property. And I'm sure it does lose leaves in the winter, but we still have the structure of the plantings. Which you can see through, but it's not clear view. I'll just leave that.
Sheriff?
Anything for the public hearing?
And I said, I understand their plight, but this couple here is well within their rights to do what they're doing.
The only question I guess would be for our attorney, because, we need some more information on this before they can go ahead
Oh, yeah.
with their project. So, should we do a secret determination now?
No,
No, we're just supposed
I
to.
don't belong to that club.
Right.
Splits
Not
things up.
with their working for this now.
Well, the only, I don't know what, no offense, but I don't know what more information we need. He's got the arborvitae's on the plan. It's got a scale to it. Pardon?
They said that's not even a house they're building.
What, different plane?
They haven't gone to a builder.
They don't have a builder yet, they don't have, so we don't know what it is, don't know where the beach field is gonna be.
The leach field will be where it is on the plans, and insofar as them, as far as the house box we show on the plans, it's very typical that we won't have a final footprint, until well after the fact, and that's, the signed and stamped plans from a licensed
Because
registered
we gotta
architect.
determine that.
Right, because I'm still concerned with that garage attached to the pole barn attached to the house.
Yeah. And that'll be an issue for the architectural plans as far as having an appropriate firewall that meets the code.
Okay, I'm gonna close the public hearing here. We're out here. And, so, continue it, then Ed, you got anything to add?
No.
Yeah, Steve? No, okay. So, we need a motion then on this, Morgan and the one in, on Protection Road.
I make a motion to close the public hearing for the, Morgan and Andrew Hornet on 180.
Second. Move it, seconded. Okay.
Sharon Steigerwald,
Yes.
Steve Law,
Uh,
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Nesbit,
Yes.
Ed Nelson,
Yes.
Steve Bittner.
Yes.
Okay, we need a motion then for, approval or disapproval of the Morgan and Andrew Honan single lot subdivision.
Make a motion to approve single lot subdivision, 180 Ketchum Road. This is in an RVL zoning district, tax account 014.02-1-13.214.
Question, should we do secret first?
Yes.
Oh, you said no.
No, only if we weren't, if we were gonna hold it over.
Okay.
That's correct, yes. It's always better to go seeker and the vote on the application at the same meeting.
I'll make a motion for the single lot subdivision for Morgan and Andrew Honan, 180 Ketchum Road, being unlisted action with a negative declaration of receiver.
Please take this.
Sharon Steigerwald,
No.
Steve Law,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
James Nesbit,
Yes.
Ed Nelson,
Yes.
Steve Bittner.
Yes.
Okay, we need a second motion. Do you want to do that? Did you want to do the second motion?
Yes.
Go ahead. So that basically
I'm sorry,
repeating it.
brain fart here.
Morgan and Andrew Honan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Morgan and Honan, Morgan and Honan. Approval to build a single-family dwelling located at 180 Ketchum Road. This is in our RVL zoning district. Tax account 014.02-1-13.214.
Question before second. Can we make a stipulation on the arborvitae's? Make it a requirement.
What's on the plan?
There's, I'm saying height wise.
I would like the planting plan approved by MOB's landscape architect. Shouldn't take much, but there needs to be some specificity as to the number of arborvitae's and their height and their location. No, it's the sort of thing that a landscape architect would lay out in 10 seconds. How many are there? How tall would they be when you plant them? And what's the separation? Every 15 feet or something, or whatever it is. Subject to landscaping
Subject to a
plan
landscape
approved.
architect by our MRB's, landscape architect.
And if I may ask for a condition for myself, at least an approval by the planning board attorney.
And approval by the planning board attorney.
Thank you, sir.
Second.
Move and second. Please take the vote.
Sharon Steigerwald, Steve Law,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
James Nesbit,
Yes.
Ed Nelson,
Yes.
Steve Bittner.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Next on the agenda, Conservation Corridor Development Permit for Brittany and Austin Munsall, 5864 West Wautoma Beach Road.
So we are looking to just put a fence on the east and west side of our house to contain our dogs. And we're on the lakefront, so we're just fencing the side portions of our house and connecting on the west side from a existing chain link to our house. There was a modification that may have been submitted. We're also in the process of purchasing the lot to the west of our house. Our tentative close date is this Friday, but that's subject to move. With that closing, we are also looking to merge the property in with our current tax ID and extend the fence around that property as well. the new lot's 45 feet wide by about 100 feet deep. We're not looking to go the full 100 foot deep. We're just looking to go like a normal amount from our house up, all around the lot.
What side, what lot are you put to, the one to the west?
Yeah, yep, 5872 West Watchung Beach.
So this is what you're showing here?
Yep, so that'll be the 50% opacity ornamental aluminum fence that we're putting in. We're actually duplicating a fence that our neighbor currently has in the same portion of her house. Same company will install too. We just went down to
I
her.
guess my question would be, if they're gonna extend the lot, the fence over onto the other property that they haven't purchased yet, there's really not much we can do tonight, correct?
Well, that would be that would not be a planning board issue, the fence. And their fence permit that they're going to get for the property they own right now, it's good for 1 year. And then do the permit.
Summarily, in order to make application to do something on a piece of land, you have to own it.
So today, we're only asking
If
for.
I may, however, if they are contract vendees, if they present a copy of a real estate contract showing they're in line to buy the property, that would be sufficient too.
Okay.
So they could submit something to the building department.
Yeah, and so today, we're only asking for the portion that we currently own. The future portion would be once we close and get everything set up to merge.
Once they buy that, this, we approve on this tonight, once they buy that, they're good to go.
In my opinion, but they still have to come back for a merge.
But that's a different.
Yes.
Yes, it is different.
So they had to come back before the board again to add another section of fence?
No,
No.
they'll just have to come back to work to merge the property.
To merge the property.
Once they own it. it's
Then
a
Cheryl will handle the building permit for the fence.
Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. Janine?
I looked at it, there's no issues.
Okay. Anything else, Keith?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Cheryl? Okay.
Discussed everything, step by step with them.
Sure. Steve?
No issue.
Jim? No. Steve? And that being said, we need a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion for Austin and Brittany Leetza, 5864 West Lacoma Beach Road, to be a type 2 action under secret.
Second.
Sharon Steigerwald,
Yes.
Steve Block,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Tom Nesbit,
Yes.
Ed Nelson,
Yes.
Steve Zane.
Set to go.
No,
No, oh, wait, we need a, okay, we need a second motion. Excuse me, sorry. Go ahead.
I make a motion. I make a motion for Brittany and Austin
Leetza.
at 5864 West Watoma Beach Road, for to add a fence to the existing property located at 5864 West Watoma Beach Road, within 100 feet of Lake Ontario, to keep their dogs located nearby out of their yard. Consider it practical difficulty, the fence will be a 4-foot high, 50% opaque aluminum.
Steve Block,
Yes.
Dave Martin,
Yes.
Tom Nesbit,
Yes.
Ed Nelson,
Yes.
Steve Zane.
Now you're good.
Now you're on.
Thank you very much.
Janine, anything from conservation?
Two things, the conservation board, with their budget, purchased,
5 additional trees for the highway department to plant on the town campus. And there's a spotted lanternfly trap on the property, on the town campus, and so far there has been no sign of anything trapped in it, although I have heard that this invasive species has been seen in Greece.
Town board has been really busy working on the budget the last couple of weeks. We got another this week. We'll be busy with meetings on it. Other than that, I'm pretty happy to say that I have a draft for our Hamlin Agriculture and Farmland Protection Plan. We just got it today. I haven't had a chance to read it. The plan is Steve and I are gonna go through it and then meet with engineer CPL, and go over any concerns we may have. Then we're gonna present it to the Ag Steering Committee. They're gonna go through it, make any changes or recommendations. Then we will have a public hearing and hopefully get this adopted, I'm hoping in November. That's the plan. Having said that, I'm also on the steering committee. The Monroe County is redoing their farmland protection plan, and I was asked to be on the steering committee for that. We met last week, and they had maps. They're a couple months behind our plan. They had some maps of the county with active farmland, and I just want to hand them out to you guys just as a reference for you guys. If I can get them back, that'd be great. But I thought they were pretty informational as far as the farmland in respects to the rest of Monroe County and just exactly, share. Yeah. Just exactly where Hamlin sits as far as ag production in the county. And as you can tell by the green, we're pretty much the breadbasket of the county.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just thought it was a really good, quick reference to where we are. So, other than that, that's all I got.
Has there been any action on the solar farm issue?
We're a moratorium for a year as we review the farmland plan. And in the farmland plan is gonna be some recommendations as far as zoning that the town board will take under consideration, so.
Good.
Yep.
How many acres they feel are in farmland yet? No?
In Hamlin,
Yeah.
I think there's almost 17,000 that has an ag exemption.
Mhm. Of course, there is other agriculture, but doesn't have the agricultural exemption.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's just interesting, the prime, that goes by soil type. The top 4 soil types are in the dark green, and then the other in yellow is active farmland.
Okay.
That's not in the prime farmland. It just kind of gives you a quick reference of what we are in the county, really.
Yeah.
So, I thought it's interesting. I thought you guys would like to see it.
Thank you. Yeah. Mhm. Who did this, the county?
Yeah, that comes from the county steering committee. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice map.
Says a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we sit in this bubble in Hamlin, and you don't realize how it relates to the rest of the county in the picture, so I just figured it,
Well, it definitely shows the sprawl from the city,
yes.
how far it's come.
Yeah.
I lived in Gates growing up, and it was all farmland at that time. It's gone.
Oh, yeah, it was all ambulances, now it's all malls
Bruce Town Mall was, it was a turkey farm. At one time, it's hard to believe, but.
Yeah, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
Food for thought,
Yeah, there you go.
literally.
No, that's cool. Thank you.
Yep.
you want.
Any other, is there another board member here from, no?
No, I'm just Jonathan Vogler from the zoning board, just observing tonight.
Oh, okay, all right. Pete, you have anything else?
Actually, I'd like to approach and show you something from tonight's project, discussing how bigger issues are just in objection. Won't take long,
After the meeting,
or now or whenever.
well, whenever you wanna do it again.
Let's do it now.
Okay.
So, now, so basically, in answer to earlier questions, when they drop the house here, probably, could you tell them to move the house if you had a reason, like if they were putting it on a bad location for some reason, like there's wetlands, or some other
Drainage.
yeah, or some issues. So there are reasons you could do it as a planning board. You're not stuck with zoning. You're not the zoning board, but you're the planning board, so you can do that. My concern about this was, I've seen this with some engineers. And they just put some dots on the map, like if they used a CAD drawing in 5 seconds and said, here you go, see what we can do something. But they won't commit to how many or what size.
It could be 4.
No, you're right, they should have had a note there, 35 trees.
And the
6
species
foot, yeah.
and the height and all that. And I got the sense that this was just put on for show. That was the flavor I was getting on this. And normally you wouldn't bring them out this close to the road, maybe they won't, I don't know. But yeah, and I've also seen people talk about planting something and they come in and they say, well, we can put in some trees that are 6 inches tall. Yeah, we're keeping these things. So, yeah, that's really what I was looking for. I wanted a reality check, because as indicated, if it's on the plan, I should be able to, if they don't wanna put it in a nice little note or a chart, I could sit here and count my trees. Yeah, and say, well, 200, oh, well, that's impressive. And it said, on the record, it said, well, 6 or 7 feet tall. That's a lot. That's an expensive buy. Are they
And are they doing it on both sides?
Well,
They don't need to.
and if they're spouting that kind of money, I just kind of wonder.
I did talk to the 2 neighbors tonight, and neither one of them had an issue where I came.
You're talking.
On the other side, yeah.
Yeah, they came out because I was driving by twice. They came out to the road and stopped.
What are you doing?
Yeah, pretty much. And so I asked them, I told them what I was there for, and I said, do you have any issues? Absolutely not. Whatever they want.
Practically speaking, I mean, the neighbor's entitled to opinion. She was polite about it. I had no problem with that. Threatening to move the thing back 600 feet was problematic. Most people didn't suggest, and then I heard about putting berms up on the property. So what do we do? Like, so we put some earthworks here. Besides, what I gathered, arborvitae's.
And if they're hunting, you're lucky for right?
One way to attract them.
Yeah.
No, Carol maple tree.
I think he threw out the berm just to try to appease them and have them do whatever it takes,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
there wasn't going to be no appeasing.
Maple tree. I went back 2 days later, they were sticks.
And I had the same thing, I had somebody come out and I was like, not
They
gonna go.
were standing there eating it, and I got that.
Property owners back here, what can we do? Do you think
There's 49 of these.
For a while, there's some
You know,
Well,
They're putting them on there for.
That's what I thought.
Well, that's.
They also have
I don't know if I should have said that or not.
they have to be
It was for
rigorous.
sale, so.
They're gonna plant something, and it sounded like they wanted to plant something for themselves, well, that's what she was saying.
Yeah,
They want
for that.
privacy, maybe, they're not getting along, so maybe that's the thing. But if they are gonna plant something, let's make sure it's something that'll actually grow and not just die.
Yeah, you look at everybody's on the solar farms, most of them, you know, over half of that.
Yeah, they look
Well,
sketchy.
usually with that, the berms aren't big enough to begin
Yeah.
with, to put them on there, to hold them. And then, they
They're
get
shell
damage.
road too, so.
There's literally 98 trees there.
There's a lot of
You have a patience. So that's all I've got, I just wanted to give some perspective on what I was saying.
Well, we had no legal right to refuse the application, correct?
Well, I mean, for one, I think you could
You
require.
could, based on that.
You could require trees.
We
Right,
did-
you can
we did
require
make
the
that
tree, but we
motion.
can't make them move the house, because they meet setback.
Well, it's not just about setbacks, it's about good siting, good design.
Good
And-
planning.
Yeah, it's a good plan, this is
Yeah.
the plan. So you just have to have a policy.
Yeah.
Don't just say, oh, we'll force it on these people, but not on the next one.
Right.
There has to be a
Well, I don't think you'd want to hunt that close to your neighbor anyway.
Well, they never expected a neighbor, that's the
Right.
problem.
Well, you gotta understand that there's a
And if you
lots.
don't expect a neighbor, you should buy that
Right.
property.
Well, yeah.
You know, the mower lives next door, so they have that,
Yeah,
their lot is narrow, but they have two narrow lots to make up a decent lot to hunt it.
And they can still bow and crossbow.
or find another place to hunt.
That's what folks do.
And it's funny, because I was at a place this weekend where the gentleman bought the lots on both sides, and he goes, I don't want nobody near me, so when we bought here, he said, as soon as that one opened up, I bought it, as soon as that one opened up, I bought it, and nobody can build it.
And we were gonna buy the property behind us, and now they want to put in that solar farm, and we're like, kicking ourselves, we're not buying the property behind us.
So basically, when it comes down to, we still could, not just this one, any future building lot similar to this, we could require them to put up some trees or landscaping.
Landscaping, burning, whatever is appropriate. No, within reason.
And you're right,
I just didn't like that you
normally,
didn't
that's
have
what I
house plans for that.
plans all the time, so normally they would have spelled out exactly what type of trees, species of trees, and how many spacing, there'd be a detail, planning detail on the sheet.
And that's what made me feel a little sketchy about the whole thing.
Yeah, you're talking, right there, you're talking about $4,000 or $5,000 worth of tree. Easy.
Maybe that's not a big deal for them, so. Thank you.
Talked to Shirley earlier today, last month, talking about the Evergreen back in 19. That hidden back there. And we never mentioned at all in the meeting about the time limit. We had 62 days if there's no reaction statement on there. And we never mentioned that, yeah.
They must
So
know
she
it.
was gonna make, I don't know, did you make up a copy of the code?
I did, I don't know.
Well, okay.
So I'll put it, I'll email to everybody tomorrow. It's in the code, and usually.
Okay.
So with-
Tuesday,
So by the next meeting, we have to,
didn't make a decision.
You have, if you can work on a project for quite a period of time, if you have to, but if it's just a case of something like this, and we say, yeah, okay, it's good, or, you know, just go with it. At the end of 62 days, it's automatic.
Yeah, they came up with something else.
Yeah.
Too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very rare,
Yeah.
Well, we don't see it once a year.
Right.
But it was just something where I think we should have something in the minutes that we discussed it, if we discuss it,
Right.
but just a cover or something.
I don't actually recall the application myself, so my apologies, but the question first is the application complete? One of the reasons I don't like to do seeker first and then come back later is because seeker suggests the application's complete. So we don't complete it.
Yes.
We like to do them both at the same time. Another thing we like to do is if you're gonna table a matter, you wanna table it to a specific date. So that lets clarity, which isn't always possible because you don't know how long it's gonna take to get information on some projects. And better yet, we want them to ask for it or agree to it. Because if they're asking for a table to some unknown date or some specific date, then it's on them. We're not holding them hostage. They're the ones who are holding themselves back. Even if they do it at our suggestion, so long as they agree to the table and the delay, then we're okay. And so the 62-day clock, it doesn't. start, that doesn't run, yes. There's another thing too, that you have to track them, and if it's been out there and you've had no response from the developer, then just turn the thing down without prejudice. So this way, it's on them, we clear our docket without worrying about things automatically getting. And besides, even if no one's looking for that, you ask the question, what's going on here? Why is this thing still hanging out here 3, 6, 9 months later?
So at what point should we do that? I mean, what is the time frame of 3 months? At that point, you,
Well, as long as we read the town code and we know that it takes place, we'll do it as needed. In case of that, there's 4, it appears though they're gonna be nice houses, 4 of them, one's gonna have a 1,200-foot driveway. And, you know, and I think of where it is, we should have to talk a little more about fire protection and a few other issues like that.
I thought that all came back approved, didn't it?
Public hearing came back.
Not on that one, I don't think.
I believe that the fire marshal made comments on that.
He did make some comments, yeah. He wanted fire hydrants in there. He thought it'd be good to have the fire hydrants. Well, whose responsibility is that?
I don't know if it's the fire marshal's decision.
That's the town or the developer? Developer.
Well, fire marshal would, require it.
But then who pays for it?
Wasn't there some also discussion about, well, some of the wetlands were federal and some were state,
Right.
and there was
Yeah, I remember
confusion
that was
about
the
that?
issue, we weren't quite sure what was what. So if they don't come back, then we're sitting open, they didn't come in now, so did they provide you with any more information or no? So if they don't come back by next meeting, because we're on a timeline, can we then deny it without prejudice?
If they were specifically tabled to a particular date, you have to give them at least to that date.
I don't think there's
They were not, I even asked
And
that person.
if that-
Because the talk was, it was gonna take them a while to get the determination whether it was federal or state wetlands.
When did the AC come out? Yeah, now.
I didn't, wetlands map online.
So, an email to the developer's engineer to ask what the status of the application is. And if we don't hear back from them, then they need to know that it comes up for a vote.
And they ask for a continuance.
They can, but the board up to a point doesn't, we don't have to wait for a
Right.
reasonable amount of time.
But I'm saying, would that stave off that 62 days?
Oh, it does, if they ask for the delay.
Yeah.
Then we're good.
So can you reach out to the developer?
And in fact, you collect that, you print out that email and you keep it in the file.
Yeah.
You know, something to the effect, table this until further notice or something.
Yeah, just something that's on them, not on us.
But even with that, there'll come a point where we say, how long is this?
Right.
And then it has to go away, because we don't wanna have open applications.
Right.
We'll get somebody calling us 10 years from now saying, oh, I want that approved now, I spent the money back before.
Yeah. Yeah, Lois had one. I had a building permit in 1988.
That was the, one up off Drake Road there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This was all of the fire marshal's answer to all of the questions. But it doesn't say who would pay for the fire hydrant.
It's the developer, it's the developer, it's not the handling thing.
No, but he says where to put it, and he said
Yeah.
that that one house, lot one would require sprinklers in their house, because it's too.
Also, what they do, they might put a dry line,
Yeah, that's on
a dry water line, so the fire truck pumper could be out by the main road.
Residential sprinklers are cheap now.
that would require permitting from the Army Corps.
We have senior developer, developer.
I don't know that it's them or just informal, let's look at it ahead of time.
Yeah, so there's no action on our part right now.
There's been nothing formal that I've heard of yet.
Because the question I had was, the new developer wants to put single-family homes with lawns. So Beeler mows all the lawn now, so they have private lawns and stuff. And my thought was, where are they gonna turn the school buildings around?
We haven't seen anything formal.
Because I don't know if it's, because that was, they had to have one person at least 55 years old to qualify for senior housing. This is a new developer, I'm not sure he wants senior housing. He just wants to build single-family homes, okay?
All I know.
We have, like I say,
Yeah.
you can't make assumptions. We haven't seen, you know, we
No,
just haven't
that was
seen.
my question.
Yeah.
This was the first thing that we got in the
I
mail.
think the paperwork was with it, there are two people with it.
Yeah.
It did state that they do not want to build for every condominium law that is in effect for the other ones.
Yes.
They want a single family lots with lots.
Well, my concern was senior citizens and got a nice little home, and the lawn's all taken care of for them, and then they're no longer in that environment. Switch. Okay.
But we'll know more once they get their act together and come make applications to the board.
Interesting one.
Yeah.
Once they come before the board, then we'll all know as much information without the need to provide.
They do meet the code though for the lot size here, and how close at the, we saw the plan,
We
but
have a plan, but we have nothing.
concrete.
Just like a sketch.
And that's the one Keith represents, right?
That is correct.
Yes.
I can see the rest of them getting together and putting a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Hey, David, you're on your own stuff. Pretty much.
Like I got a phone call or something off of that. I got a new gun. Yeah, for a couple months.
Ford, that's probably about Tampa's Lake.
No, I had to put it in the shop. I had a few deer ran into the side of it. Deer in the house in the morning.
Oh, that's not good.
3 days. No. 3 days and $3,000 later.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, how much meat you get out?
Not much. Lucky. We get three.
Yeah,
Two
those
shoulders.
years.
Spun around. I never saw it.
Yeah,
Every time
you
I
were-
go
it's
to the
already
store,
existing.
No, I'm sitting at the table. I'm sitting at the
What the truck side? Nice.
Twenty-four yards from my. I know. Neighbor the other side, he's great, I'll work. He's like right in front of my.
Yeah, it just kind of puts a little perspective on it.
79 years old.
Especially as we're going through.
Oh,
farm.
yeah, there.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My daughter-in-law got it right there.
Yeah, and it goes right 618. It goes.
Probably giggling. Yeah, he knew you were there. Oh, I drove.
Could I have a copy of that map? Cause I'd like to make it, and I wanna laminate it. I'd like to laminate it for everybody.
I thought it was kind of interesting.
Thank you.
Because like in Hamlin, we're just looking at Hamlin.
Yeah.
Why we don't